What did you sell and how did you come up with a product to sell?
First, I sold whatever I had in it, jewelry.
Okay, jewelry.
It was a complete failure.
There are, let's say somebody calls himself, I'm a high ticket entrepreneur. I do high ticket business. I will teach you how to do high ticket
Correct.
sales. And the only high ticket product they have is a course about high ticket sales.
And one thing is that even my low ticket people who have purchased 10K are upgrading to high ticket. They know that the syllabus is same. But just for support alone, they are upgrading the thing.
If you want to go to high ticket agency, big companies are not ready to take risk because for them time is very valuable. If a guy is saying that I will provide you XYZ and it is going to cost 50,000 a month, they don't mind paying 2 lakh a month to somebody else who is offering the same XYZ, except that person has a little bit higher reputation.
My team is only handling all the calls. So the way that he helped my team know to understand the flow without me involving, again I liked it.
If you keep on doing the business operation, then you won't have bandwidth for capital allocation or decision making.
Correct.
So it's not about like how hard you work, it's about how smart you work. And you want to be a business owner, not a business operator. Hey, this is Deepak here. And today we are going to have a conversation with Nivetha, who is also an AlphaClub member. She runs a business where she is coaching other people on how to set up a successful Amazon selling business. So Nivetha, welcome to the office.
Hey Deepak, thanks for inviting.
So Nivetha, let's start by discussing about your career journey. So when did you graduate and how has your professional journey turned out until the moment that you have become what you have become, which is a Amazon selling business coach is what you are right now. And how did you get here? What are the challenges that you faced? We would like to hear the story.
Yeah, sure. So did my engineering at 2013. So while doing engineering, I thought I have to start something, a business, because there was some recession also. So I was placed in companies, but I thought, okay, why don't I start some business? I started offline business. I had this habit of doing fashion jewelry. I started selling to my friends, family, even to shopkeepers. I was trying. I did not sell, I was trying. So I started and it was going really good. At that time, it was really good for me, that numbers were. And then, the people called me for the office joining. I went and joined and I was not able to do offline business. So somewhere I felt I have to do my job and also business. So I thought, okay, what is this online? Something is coming, Amazon, Shopclubs, Flipkart, Paytm. These guys are saying something. What is this? So that was the time I explored e-commerce. And I started selling on multiple marketplaces.
Okay, what did you sell and how did you come up with a product to sell?
First, I sold whatever I had in it, jewelry.
Okay, jewelry.
It was a complete failure because I am not a proper jewelry maker and I don't know designs, I don't know photo shoot. Then somewhere I felt, okay, this is not what people expect online. There's something I have to give a try. Then I just jumped into toys niche.
Okay.
And simply I went to Broadway in Chennai, that's it. I did not do any product research. And went there, went to a shop, found out the products, took it, came home, took pictures and put it online. Because that was the starting time, no one was selling that much. So I was the first few sellers of Paytm. Like that, every marketplace I was the first few sellers.
Okay.
So I started selling, things were working good. So 2015 I quit my job. But of course family did not say yes to it. But I tried to protect all my bank balance and did something and somehow left the job. And it was going really good. At 2016 I received my Flipstar award. I was the top seller in Flipkart in Chennai.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So immediately that encouraged me a lot.
And toys was what was selling and scaling at revenue?
Yeah, I started multiple then. Toys, stationery. But I did a lot of mistakes there. I did reselling. But somehow revenue-wise, I was really doing good numbers.
Ballpark, how much was it? Like a monthly revenue figure?
So I was easily making, 10 to 20 lakhs.
Nice, very nice.
So I thought it was really good, but somewhere I did not make profit at that time.
Yeah,
I did not know the real game.
Logistics, purchase cost,
Correct.
so many things were there.
Because I did not sit into accounting itself. So just I was selling. I thought whatever is coming in bank account is mine. So initial days, I just finished my college. I didn't have any finance background. So later I understood something was not going good. And at 2017, I had a financial crisis. Like I had my marriage, my dad was hospitalized, I had a surgery, so money was not at all there. So I thought, okay, there are a lot of pending payments to suppliers, so somehow I should make money right now. So I thought, okay, why don't I convert my knowledge into money? And I went to Facebook, to our Amazon group, found few leads, called to them and started giving service.
Nice.
So,
that I will help you sell
correct.
online.
Yeah. Just one person asked me to write a plan of action. In Amazon, we have account suspension. He asked me, I'm good at doing all those stuff because I had my own suspensions. So I just said, you have to pay me 500, that's it. He paid me immediately. I
Okay.
thought, okay, things are working good. So it was small only, but yeah, I started just like that. Found leads from only Facebook. I
Okay.
don't know any outreach, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, things were working. Then slowly I started getting a lot of recognition from the group itself. Like people are tagging me, like whatever they question they ask, I know the answer because I'm a real struggler. And I started providing service. So I started getting leads from there. So, okay, then I started hiring people. I was not able to do it alone because I had my marriage, everything. Then I started the agency immediately. I named it as New Gen Max Digital Solution. That's it. Nothing, planned activity. Then I started doing, and many people started, appreciating me because only one thing was I will be straightforward. I won't be like, if I'm not able to increase your sales, I'll say it very frankly. No, this is not going to work out. Then people started giving me testimonials, only word of mouth on Facebook. That's it.
Great.
So I was expanding, and by 2020, I had my kid. So everyone had a break. I also had a break. And I thought, okay, something is cooking around like coaching, etc. But by 2019 itself, I had a full set of pre-recorded videos about how to sell on Amazon. I was selling to few people. And 2020, I thought, okay, why don't I already have some course. Why don't I make it into a webinar funnel and start doing this? I already have pre-recorded version. So I invited people for my webinar, sold the pre-recorded course, which I recorded before itself.
Nice.
So it started working, and by December, I created a proper flow, everything. And I didn't expect, like, people started appreciating me that my energy level is really good.
Okay.
So till then, I don't know that my energy level is good. I'm a good speaker. Okay, I thought, okay, I have some knowledge, it seems. Everything was a learning for me. I didn't know that I had so much of knowledge. Then I started coaching. Then there was a lot of negatives also. Then I thought, okay, how to fix it? As a coach, you will have a lot of problems. Okay, everywhere I learned, okay, this is what I should do, this is what I shouldn't do. I did not follow any funnel. Like, there are a number of coaches available who teach about coaching. I have not taken anyone's course. I don't know what, but I'm just seeing ads. And I didn't have time at that time since my baby was small. So I created my own stuffs and I started working on that. It was working for me. Low ticket funnel was working for me. So, and I did. Then I reached a level where I trained around 40,000, 45,000 plus people.
Oh, wow. Okay. And in your paid coaching program?
Yes.
Fantastic.
So last year, May, I was thinking, I've coached this much people, but somewhere or the other, the testimonial wise, I had only, 100 to 200 or something very less only. Then something that I'm not doing great. Then I understood, okay, I'm inviting people for 199 webinar and I'm selling a program of 10K and people are not taking action. So I went to the Teachable, saw the Lakhs, etc. Then I felt, okay, maybe everyone is sounding like high ticket. What is this high ticket? So then I was like, okay, let me explore the high ticket. Then I, messaged Romit. I came to know that he was providing some high ticket service. I messaged him and asked, for a call, and we sat on a call. And to do that, what I did was like transition from low ticket to high ticket is not so easy. I wantedly passed things for a month. So I would get the pain like, hey, I was making a revenue of 40 lakhs I was making. Now it's zero. So 1 month I was zero. So that pain made me and forced me to move to high ticket. I wantedly did that to myself. And I sat with Romit, we planned for things and everything I had in hand, so it was very easy for him. Like he has to just give me an idea, just to VSLR, calendar booking, that's
You already have traction.
Correct.
So that is the most important thing when working with a coach.
So it was very easy for me. In 1 month, I launched the high ticket. So initially, people started questioning me, you are charging only 10K. Then I charged 50K. Like, why was this price difference? And, I did not sit on sales call. Because I always felt like I have to outsource this job. I should not come to all these sales call here and then. Then the sales team came and said me like everyone is questioning this. Then to come over that again it took 1 month.
Okay.
Like there was no closures. Then I was like, did I make a mistake? I was making 40 lakhs of revenue, now it's zero. Then I started getting traction. So then people started coming in. Then again, the count is increasing and now it's going on a very smooth flow. So this is how from being a software engineer to a high ticket coach I have been.
Coach, nice, very nice. And you are still running your agency where you are providing services
Correct.
for other e-commerce and
Yes,
Amazon
I'm
sellers.
doing it.
Fantastic. And with your high ticket coaching, now you have completely shelved your low ticket products, right? You are not
Correct,
selling
yes.
that anymore. With the high ticket, what we see here is a landing page and people have to opt in to watch a video.
Correct.
And you are running ads for this page directly. Then there is a VSL page, and from the VSL page, there is a way to schedule call, and people would book a call with you or your team. Your team,
Yeah,
right?
team.
Yes. And it says call booking section will appear after watching the video.
To make sure that only serious people are doing it.
Yes. So you are only running ads for this, and ballpark, how much is the revenue right now with the high ticket?
So it would be around 10 lakhs roughly per month.
Fantastic.
Because I stopped in between because of my maternity break.
Yeah.
And again, I've
But still
resumed.
10 lakhs is great, right?
Yeah, but here
can
the
be
profit
scaled
is
further.
higher.
Yes, profit is higher.
In low ticket, I said 40 lakhs, no, but the profit won't be higher.
Yeah, all the money you have to keep reinvesting back into
Correct.
ads to get more scale, get more people on the webinar.
Yeah, and I have to share one thing maybe. In the low ticket, I was spending too high, like, it would be 20 lakhs plus. Many card blocks will happen, many problems will happen, like I have to top up, everything was set. In high ticket, there's no problem like that. It's very going smoothly.
Yeah. Lesser revenue, more margins.
Correct.
Lesser number of customers, so lesser headache. Lesser amount of team members also to help you with. So the salesperson who is closing for you, how did you find them?
Once I had, clicked on ad of Gopal's ad actually.
Okay.
I used to book calls with everyone, even that's how I landed with Giant also, just to understand how they are doing it. So that time one person approached me, was pitching Gopal's program. That was not my idea. Then after that he came to me, saw my profile and said, can I do sales closer for you? So okay, that's how I said, okay, yes, you can do. So in low ticket itself, I had a sales closer. Like in the webinar, my conversion was 10%. And I want to do outside of that. So we created a funnel there. After the webinar, I sent them an email like, hey, you did not take action. So why don't you book a call with us? And I created a paid consultation call, like 99 rupees I collected from them. And I asked the salesperson to sit there and do the closure.
Okay.
Again, they brought around 3 to 5% of conversion, so which was really, it's an extra money for me. So I do not hire in-house person. Instead, I started paying commission.
Commission-based sales closer. And that's what we do with AlphaClub as well. We have 2 sales closers who take around 100 to 120 sales calls in a month, and they only make money on sales commissions. So there is no fixed payroll for us to worry about. And for them also, it's very motivating to have an unlimited upside, if not unlimited, a pretty high upside that their income is not like limited to 50,000 or 1 lakh.
Correct.
There are months where they will earn 1.5 or 2 lakhs as well when they close more. And that motivation is required to close that, one-on-one sales.
Yes.
Right.
So that's how I started. So it was not a burden. So once I came to high ticket also, I was very clear I have to do that. Because always I am in a mindset like I shouldn't work much.
Yeah.
Maybe it may be wrong, but I'm trying to automate.
No, it's right only, because when you have a lot of free time, then you have time to read books, then you have to go ahead and contemplate new ideas and execute those new ideas. That takes a lot of mental bandwidth.
Correct.
If you keep on doing the business operation, then you won't have bandwidth for capital allocation or decision making.
Correct.
So it's not about like how hard you work, it's about how smart you work. And you want to be a business owner, not a business operator, right?
Yes, that's true. So then high ticket, I started involving them, and right now also I'm hiring some closers for that. We are working on it, how they can close, and that's how sales call is going on.
Fantastic. Cool. So in this context, I wanted to talk about this ideal career path, which I talk about a lot. So here everybody starts out as a student, and everybody is like in either college or just graduating. So they are a student. They have not started making money yet. And then you become an intern. Some people skip the intern position, directly go to a job. It is not necessary that people have to go step by step, but when I see most of people's careers, how it evolved is something like what you said. You were in a job.
Correct.
And then you quit the job. Then you went ahead and did some freelancing, just started providing services. But the freelancing capability came because you started a startup, which
Correct.
is to
Exactly.
run some business, even though you are not making profit. You did have some experience. That experience might have come from a job or a side hustle. So we can say job or, hustle.
Yes.
Because you don't end up having a certain level of experience with anything unless you do a job, work with somebody, or you do some hustle, which is like a side
that's
project.
true.
So once you do that, then you have learned about certain things. Maybe you had problems with operations such as logistics, purchasing at a low cost. There might be some element of the business that was missing, but you did learn something by running that business, and you felt that you were good at helping people sell because you were good at selling.
Correct.
So you could offer it as a service. So you started out as a freelancer, then it became the agency, which became Newgen. And all this is helping you become a mentor or a coach because you have done freelancing, you have done the hustle, you have been providing services, and you are still providing services, which gives you a lot of credibility to become a mentor or a coach. And this helps you basically go ahead and generate enough money that tomorrow you become an investor as well. So I think you are yet to reach that stage. Right now you are a coach, and let's say as the high ticket sales scales, you will have, let's say, 1 crore in hand. Then you can start investing in other startups, and you can actually become an investor or a mentor. So this path is what I have also followed. I started with a job which was digital marketing manager in a bunch of startups. And then I started doing some freelancing. I did some side hustle where I was trying to sell something online, did some consulting. Then I started my Pixel Track agency. Then I started my training business, which is Digital Deepak and Learn Today and whatever courses we sell. I have also not reached the investor stage yet. But what really resonates with me in your journey is that, see, you won't learn yoga from a guy who does not do yoga.
Correct.
You won't hire somebody as a gym instructor if he does not have a fit body. You won't learn guitar from somebody who does not play guitar. But in the business world, there are, let's say, somebody calls himself, I'm a high ticket entrepreneur. I do high ticket business. I will teach you how to do high ticket sales. And the only high ticket product they have is a course about high ticket sales, right? So that becomes recursive. So I feel they are not practicing what they are preaching, and they are not preaching what they are practicing. So for me, it really resonates when somebody is doing something and then teaching the same thing to others. So when you look at the entire funnel, it becomes like do it yourself, which is self-serve courses. It could be books, it could be mini video series, blog posts, content, whatever is do it yourself. It could be free or it could be paid. And do it yourself things can scale. Whether you are selling 1,000 copies of an ebook or 10,000 copies of an ebook does not matter, because there is no service component in it. You can just sell digitally. But then you also cannot charge very high. A book sells for 500, maybe an ebook sells for 500 to 1,000. That's the average price that people expect, because there is no service component in it. And then you move to something which is done with you, where you are going ahead and providing some hands-on coaching and helping them clear their doubts and everything, apart from giving a course, and that becomes like a mastermind. And done for you is completely an agency model. Hey, you don't get involved in it, I will execute this entire thing for you. So done for you has a lot of customization to it. It cannot be replicated. So that is why when you are running an agency, for most of the people, agency revenue gets capped around 10 to 20 lakh a month.
Exactly.
In terms of services, because on some level, you being the expert, the client requires your involvement, at least for the onboarding minimum. And then it's a very distributed market. There are multiple people wanting to get service projects from people. And since for every client, it cannot be copy pasted.
Correct.
And there is a certain level of customization to it. It kind of gets capped. Yes, there are companies who have scaled to 1 crore, 2 crore, or even 100 crores per year. I have seen big agencies, but they don't exactly offer a very customized service for small businesses. They do something which is customized for very large businesses, and they might run a TV ad campaign. They will charge 20, 30 lakhs for it. And there is no direct ROI in it, because it's not direct response marketing, right? So that way, I feel once you reach 10, 20 lakh a month in revenue with your agency, you have much more scalability in teaching people how to do it. And that's where I feel low ticket is do it yourself. But as you said, completion rate won't be good. People won't be implementing, and it won't scale. But high ticket can give good profit margins, because it is somewhere hybrid between a complete agency model to a complete do-it-yourself model.
Correct. Because with proper support, I believe once I started the high ticket, I am putting some pressure on them. Every week, I invite them for a call, and I'll be okay, you are from this location, this is your status, what else?
Yes.
So they really love the way that I connect with them. That's very important, I feel, in high ticket.
In education, content is only part of the game. The major part of the game is accountability. That's why we have schools. Instead of just giving the books and you keeping it on your house, you go to the school, there are exams, there is attendance. So it has always been about accountability. And even after we grow up, we need that accountability.
Yes, because even the low ticket, high ticket product is same. I did not change the product.
Okay.
In fact, I reduced the support system of the high ticket.
Okay.
Now here, the support that I'm giving is wow, that's it. People come for it. And one thing is that even my low ticket people who have purchased 10K are upgrading to high ticket. They know that the syllabus is same, but just for support alone, they are upgrading the thing.
Yes, Gopal keeps saying this word called leveraged labor. So when you think about leverage in business, obviously we all have to use leverage, right? If you don't have any leverage at all, let's say you don't have education, and then you don't have any capital, then you have to just do some work to get some money and maybe feed yourself with that money. That is operating from zero leverage. Education can be one form of leverage. But in business, when we grow up and do business, we talk about three major forms of leverage, which is one is time. So you are in the same business for a very long time. You end up having a certain level of brand and understanding about the market, which is a leverage. Then you have capital leverage. So either you start out with personal capital or you had investment from outside. That becomes like a huge capital, which you can use to invest in infrastructure, talent, developing a product or a service. And then team capital. So team is when you have multiple people working with you, and 2 plus 2 is not 4. It's like 10 or 20, where there is a geometric multiplier effect when a team works together. So these are the three main forms of leverage. There are also other forms of leverage, such as code and media. So both code and media can replicate itself without any problem. Like if you are selling a D2C product, as soon as you increase the ad spend, demand increases. Then you have to increase production, you have to increase logistics, you have to increase support. So the distance between trying to put more money into ads and building up more demand to actually delivering and making more revenue, it has so many hurdles in the middle when you have like a D2C product or a manufacturing business or construction business, whatever it might be. But code is basically apps and software. You can have 100 customers today and probably have 10,000 customers tomorrow. You just need to probably pay more for the server cost and the bandwidth to serve them. And it's a self-serve product in many cases, software. And media is also like that, which is content, teaching, and everything. But again, there is a problem when it comes to just selling content, which is do-it-yourself content, that does not have a high perceived value because there is no service involved in it. Correct. So wherever you go, like for example, if you are going to a restaurant, it's a service. Somebody is cooking for you, somebody is coming and keeping it to you on the table, serving you. So you naturally feel like, yes, I could have made a 100 rupee meal at home, but I'm paying 1,000 rupees in a restaurant because they are offering a service. So as soon as we perceive something as a service, then we are ready to pay a premium for it because it's customized. So content alone cannot just sell for high ticket, because like no matter how good the book is, even if it is a world famous book, world's #1 book, the cost will be around 500 to 1,000, right? Because it's just content. So similarly, low ticket products with just courses also has like a cap, 5,000 to 10,000 K upar. You cannot sell just content because there has to be a service component for it. But at the same time, you don't end up delivering a service which can be delivered only by you.
Correct.
If you can make it into a service that can be delivered by talent, then you are making it perceived as a service, which is now high ticket. But at the same time, you are able to scale that service because tomorrow, let's say you 10x your total number of customers. You can have 10x salespeople. You could invest 10x in ads. And you can have 10x account managers to
Correct. I got it.
Be the accountability partner and basically give the service for them, while it is built around your personal brand and you are the person who is endorsing for this particular product or model. So you are the brand ambassador of your own product, but at the same time it's a product that you are selling which is scalable for you, but they are perceiving it as a service, and you build that trust leverage. So whenever coaches want to scale, that's what I recommend. Try to scale with salespeople like you have done, and go ahead and put like an account management team, have structures, have processes, have systems in place, which you should have done in the beginning yourself, right? Without you having done it, you don't know what to tell the salespeople and the account manager. So initially you have to do, but you should not get locked in the business that the business is dependent on you. So a lot of people do this low ticket, say high ticket ascension. And in low ticket, they will do like a weekly webinar, show up in front of their audience all the time, but the audience cannot contact that person or get a direct response. And then they sell a high ticket. The problem is that they are paying a higher ticket price to get a higher access to that person, which means that person cannot fire themselves from the business.
Got it. So to avoid this, what I did was like, I'm using agency resource. So
Okay,
though I
fantastic.
have 2 companies, here what I say is weekly I'm coming on it, but to those people who are really taking action, someone is asking me, okay, I have the Amazon account and you want me to audit the account, I'll be like, okay, let's not share the screen here. I'll do one help for you. I'll pull out one person from my tech team. They'll be working in an agency with top D2C brands. So I'll pull out from their time and why don't you sit on a call with them? So I asked that resource to connect with my student, and it's not a service. It's not a complete done for you model, but if you are ready to take action, I help in that.
Yeah, done with you model. It
yeah,
becomes.
little.
Yes.
And again, they say like, okay, I am selected the product, but I want your help. Don't worry, send us a sheet. Our team is going to work with you and give you the finalized product. Because
Fantastic.
that's the difference between low ticket and high ticket. If I'm going to say like, no, only weekly once I'm going to come here, speak, and if you have any question, come next week. It will be very rude. So I'll be like, have any question, drop an email.
Got it.
So then what I did was like, from the beginning, I've tied up with photographers. Every step I have some people. Because it's Amazon FBA, it's not TC.
Yeah.
Like you need an auditor.
Yes.
So they'll be like, I was searching for an auditor for 1 month. So I'm like, you can search for it or give us the work. We will share you one number, call them, get this done.
Got it.
So again, there is another revenue. People don't know there is an affiliate revenue through that also.
Yeah. So a very similar model we follow where AlphaClub members have a problem with ads or landing page. Shreyas is working with AlphaClub members as well as for the Pixel Track agency where he is handling real clients, real ad budgets, and there, because he is executing it himself, he is always sharp and updated with the latest changes that has happened, right? Otherwise, you cannot just have outdated information and you will not be able to help people. Let's say Facebook ads change something in their interface and the client is asking, hey, I have a problem here. Can you solve it for me? The person itself will be like wondering what to do here. But if the person is actually doing some service for clients from the agency, then they will be up to date on how we have to help these clients as well.
Yes, because that's the reason many people suggested me to stop the agency. Like coaching, you're really doing good. And agency is not giving me good numbers. I am not doing it. Even low ticket we are serving, we are learning from it. Even at time, I work or I don't work. I learn from the mistakes my team is making. The clients are questioning us. And even I'm not working, they will manage it. That's the reason.
And that is what makes you also a better Amazon FBA coach than anyone else, because somebody else might be just doing the coaching and not actually executing, and then they will get outdated very fast.
Correct.
So here, even if you are making 10 lakh a month from your agency, and even if you are just aiming for very little profit margin and you are not trying to scale the revenue, you are always keeping your knife sharp because you are like continuously practicing.
Correct. That's what I was been thinking from the beginning, and that's the reason I'm not closing agency, even though,
exactly the same reason we have not closed Pixel Track, even though our coaching business is giving us a lot more revenue than the agency and a lot more profits.
Correct.
We are like, we have to run the agency.
Yes, and you can have an in-house salesperson. I also have that.
Okay.
Apart from the closures that I have an in-house salesperson. So if there is any issues, I would like, okay, let's give a call. What's wrong in that? They have paid money for us. But though we don't, openly say we give a call back, we are doing it.
Yeah. So when you offer additional service, which is like under-promising and over-delivering, then clients are very happy. And you are choosing clients who are highly likely to succeed, and only such clients will pay you like a high ticket price anyway. Very well said. Cool. So we had a very good conversation about the way you handle agency and the coaching business at the same time, and why it is a good reason to go to high ticket. Now let's talk about the difficulty when it comes to team building. The way I see it is that there are two kinds of freedom. One kind of freedom is that you don't have an office, you don't have a team, you don't have to process payroll, you don't have to hire, fire or anyone. But in that kind of freedom, you are the person who is basically selling your own time. You can either be a freelancer or you can be a coach. But as I said, if you are ascending people from L1, L2, L3, basically with the promise of, hey, you get to interact with me more and more, get to attend my events, then the person cannot fire themselves out from the equation. And also, having accountability for a large number of people by a single person is almost impossible. You can give motivation and inspiration, but you can't give hand-holding and actual real world accountability, right? So there is another kind of freedom where you have built an office or like a remote office, whatever it might be, but you have built a team. You have agency, you are providing some services, there you have a few people, then you have account managers, then you have support people, then you have sales people who are either commission-based sales closers or one-on-one sales closers. And then you have to manage them, you have to hire them, you have to motivate them, you have to reprimand them, track their performance. But you can actually end up building a business where you don't need to be involved in the day-to-day activities and they will execute it for you. So this is one kind of freedom. I would always gravitate towards this kind of freedom where even if I am taking a vacation for 1 month, the business keeps running without my presence and I become a business owner, not a business operator. So have you ever had this dilemma that, hey, I should just be like a solopreneur and do it all by myself? Or now you have a team, but it is still challenging. So what are your thoughts around that?
So team building is really challenging and I'm also still struggling. So initially I started agency. I had hired freelancer. So I thought giving work to freelancer is called team building. That was my first mistake. Every day I should get up, I should buy like a resource, this is your work, etc. There was one point of time where I felt like, okay, this is not the way it should be, because I was really doing good numbers in coaching, and I took a break at 2021 due to my planned surgery. I messaged all my clients saying that I will not be available for 1 week. Okay. So any work we will, I'll do it later, and your billing will be adjusted. For every client I did this, and every client I gave 1 week extra billing time.
Okay.
So I felt, no, this is not the way it should be. I'm really making good numbers. I can even pay many resources. So what am I missing? And I was not in a position to build an offline, office, etc. Because I am from Chennai. My husband is working in West Bengal, and he is working in a very remote area. It's not Kolkata. So that stress, pushed me out. Before I had office even in West Bengal, I tried this for 6 months and I was not getting good resource there. Either they know Hindi or Bengali. I don't know Hindi that much. Bengali, very bad.
Okay.
So English speaking people, I got 1 or 2 and they will come and I was not able to track them. They were not able to understand my flow. So office was not working for me there. So remote only is the only option. So really I had a lot of struggles. So I started figuring out people and I started giving responsibilities.
Okay.
Before I said, okay, so this is the work for you today. Now nothing like that. This is your role. And this is your statement of work. For the entire month or for next year, I'm expecting this from you. If you're ready to travel with me, let me onboard you. So slowly I started building and I started hiring people. And I was not able to track them. Everything happened. Slowly we introduced a payroll system. Slowly I started introducing insurance. Even for my remote team, I started introducing insurance. So now everyone is having some hold. And I started introducing agreements, appreciations every time. And I started putting these people outside.
Okay.
For example, you are working, but you're always saying Jayant. So this gives like, wow, Jayant is an additional resource. Jayant will be like, this guy is recognizing me. I started recognizing people even outside.
Fantastic.
Because my team person say me, that is the thing. I give them freedom. Like I give an overall picture. Like I don't hesitate to share my overall picture. There's nothing secret and all. Like, okay, next 6 months I'm planning this. What is your thought process? Come with an idea. So that's how I do it. But still I'm struggling, I have only very few people who are very, I shouldn't use the word loyal.
Okay.
But anyway, there should be some bonding. But still there are few people coming and going here and there.
Yeah.
And still struggling to figure out people who can take the complete authority. We even close some high ticket. We have started this, not scaling it anyways. Because that's the reason I joined the AlphaClub of understanding how I can scale my agency high ticket. Even in that sales call, there's a salesperson. Even in the technical calls, I'm not sitting. There is a tech person sitting there. Very rarely, if they have an offline business, if they are doing around 500 crores, 600 crores, I'm sitting on the call. So I'm trying to build some tech person who can take the entire authority. They should know the ins and out.
Got it.
So that's how I'm struggling, and I'm struggling to find out resource, to be frank.
Yeah.
I have people, but I want to scale it. Now I have around 8 to 10 wavering people working from remote.
Okay.
And I don't question them like you have to start from 10, you have to finish it. That and all is not possible. I honestly know that. So I'm like, this is the work for you. Finish it, get back. I give them time.
Got it.
So if I'm figuring out how I can hire people, so maybe if you have any points, you can share it.
That is one problem in the market that we are trying to solve, because a lot of AlphaClub members who are business owners, their biggest challenge is hiring and building a team. In my case, the micro internship program which I have launched, which is a low ticket product, but it is low ticket by intention because people who are just out of college and they want to get some level of experience and some personal brand, not like a personal brand, but let's say an online presence, that they have a portfolio website, they have a blog, they have a good resume, they learned how to make like a video. They learned how to go ahead and reach out to people, start communication, network on LinkedIn. So that's what we do with micro internship, which becomes like a bridge from education to the corporate. And the chicken and egg problem where they don't hire you if you don't have experience, but if you don't get a job, you can't gain experience.
Correct.
So that we are bridging a little bit. So initially when I started out just teaching digital marketing, I felt like a lot of college students who are just getting into the market want to get digital marketing jobs or start freelancing in digital marketing are the ones which I was attracting like a huge percentage. Then we have evolved into AlphaClub, where we are helping business owners like you to scale up your business. We have the events, we have the mastermind, we have created a community of entrepreneurs. And a lot of people are telling me that, hey, this is high ticket. This is very good in terms of profit margin. You have lesser number of customers, lesser headache. Why don't you just focus on this? Why don't you just kill your micro internship program and don't take people there? Because it's a lot of operational activity, a lot of money coming in and going out. As you said, at some point you were making 40 lakhs with low ticket, but you are not making any margins.
Correct.
So that lack of margins does not necessarily demotivate me from running that program, because if I put enough efforts, then I can completely automate this program. So initially we had the first version of the internship program, which ran for 27 batches. And only 3 batches I did live classes. From the 4th batch to around 10th batch, I used to do only the sales calls. I used to generate a lot of leads by giving away my lead magnet, and that was the only thing that I am doing. And as soon as somebody is onboarded, we had process and systems that what is the outreach mail that you have to send, when should be the orientation call may, what are all the things that you have to share with them to set the expectation right. And the entire content of the internship program was recorded courses only. But as I said, I was not just selling content, which has a particular cap, like 5,000 to 10,000. Most of the content pieces will get capped. Yes, there are people who just sell a content piece for 50,000 or 1 lakh internationally also. But let's say in Indian context, 5 to 10,000 is good enough for a video course. But then I added a service component to it, and this whole gamification to it, where I'm giving cashback. So cashback becomes a way to force them to watch the content, because if they don't consume the content, then they are not going to get the money back. So that forces them to watch the content, which upskills them, which improves my brand also. Because yes, on one side, people are trying to build a personal brand by having like 1 million subscribers on YouTube or 1 million followers on Instagram. But what is the level of engagement of these followers? They just watch random reels, like your pictures, or watch 10-minute YouTube videos. That's it. I might not have 1 million people inside my internship program. I have like trained 10,000 people so far, but these 10,000 people may significant amount of them, let's say 60 to 70%, have sat and watched my content for something like 20 hours, 30 hours. Okay. So the level of brand recall that I capture in their head is a lot. So this cashback component is a service kind of thing, because that also involves a certain level of money movement, and like people submit their assignments, and then the assignment has to be reviewed. It gets approved. That itself is a service. Then we send the cashback back to them. It motivates them. And while doing the assignment, if they have any problem, they will come to the Q&A call, which is handled by the mentor, who is also the community manager for that particular cohort.
Okay.
So people feel like there is content, there is cashback, there is assignments, there is community, there is a mentor who is ready to do some one-on-one calls with them, give me career guidance, as well as answer my questions on how to complete the assignment. And then there is a certification. Plus this entire cohort is moving at a particular pace, because if you get like 200 members in a cohort, it's not like one person is in week 1, one person is in week 2. No, everybody is doing week 1, and then they discuss among themselves. So when you create a low ticket product, and if you can create something like this, from batch 4 to batch 10, I was doing the sales calls. From batch 11, I was not doing the sales calls also. I was only being like a CEO, whose only responsibility is to allocate capital, hire team members, check the performance, check the reviews of customers. Product has been already built, the systems have been already built. So I used to allocate a large amount of money back into lead generation, and where to put that lead cost, do some performance tracking attribution, do some branding activities here and there. We did like a 2-minute TV commercial. We did not put it on TV, but we said it's a TV commercial and put it on YouTube, and that got like 100K views.
Okay, great.
So then we gave out some welcome kit for all the people, like one notebook, digital Deepak logo and everything.
Okay.
So I was able to focus on a lot of other aspects like this, because the product was being completely systemized with the added leverage labor. And even if I don't make any margins on this at all, I will still scale up to a point where this continuously keeps running, because that helps me with hiring, number one, because today all my team members, we have around 10 team members, except my bookkeeper, who is a finance guy who came from somewhere else. Everybody has come from my own, including Jayant, who is my co-founder right now. He was a batch 4 intern. So this time we are rebuilding the entire product to create better content quality, and we are doing it slow so that we can really have solid systems. and let it keep running. So something that is on the top of the funnel, low ticket, and people look up to you because not many people serve the people who are just out of college because they don't have a lot of purchasing power. They won't buy high ticket right now, but 5 years, 10 years later, they might. And it's a volume game, and it helps me build my brand. So that is why I am not in favor of completely eliminating low ticket.
Okay.
But if it can be completely automated and still not kept as a product but as a service. So I would say there are different levels, right? You have free content that you post on YouTube, blog post, newsletter, guest post, podcast, all this is free content. So that is like level 0. Level 1 can be a tripwire transaction that they have not just watched your content or visited your website, but now they have transacted at least a small amount with you. So this could be an event ticket or this could be a book purchase. Book purchase can be upgraded into an audio book. So it takes a lot of patience and time to get a book published and get an audio book published. But it can become a very good top of the funnel asset because if you see Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels, his funnel goes all the way up to a software, which is the ClickFunnels software. But he starts with a book. Then he has coaching programs, which liquidates the cost of his acquisition. And then eventually from that community, he is selling ClickFunnels and a lot of evangelist customers are there in his funnel. So it can be a book purchase, which is a tripwire. Then it can be maybe a self-serve course for like 5,000 rupees. It can be a cohort-based course for 10,000 to 20,000 rupees. So we are selling it at around 15 to 20,000 with the cashback. Okay. But at that price point, you will get larger volumes. But a lot of people would just want to learn for the sake of learning. It doesn't mean that they have to instantly get results, right?
Got it.
It will kind of give them some foundational learning at some point in their life. It will help them again. So I like to keep that and completely automate it so that we don't need to be involved in it actively apart from the decision making of capital allocation. And especially if you go ahead and cap it at a certain level. So we are thinking, what if we cap internship at average 100 students a month, launch one batch every 2 months at 200 people, and that's about it. It would be enough for me to find good quality talent to hire into my team. And it'll also be a good brand builder, and people like end up liking you so much, and they would want to join your agency or join your team to serve others because they did not end up doing what you were doing. But at the same time, there is a nuance here that it has to be more generic, like digital marketing.
Correct. That's what I was. I was about to ask. Now the problem is that even my 50% of population is from interns only. Like how I did intern was like I got this idea from Avi Arya. So once he asked me to drop an email to my existing audience, like I put an email saying that, hey, I'm hiring interns for the below positions. If you're interested, just send me a 1-minute video. Now whomsoever is sending me a 1-minute video is little okay because they are ready to take a video from me. Then I started hiring people. Now I have I guess around 5 to 6 people who I hired from intern. Like last month I had a video intern. Like they will be doing 3 months work for me. Okay. And once they are really doing it, they will get a stipend for the internship that they have done, and they are into the company with a payroll. So this I was able to do for video editing, everything. But when it comes to Amazon FBA, now I have done all these for content creation, email marketing, everything. For example, I have one person, Vijay, I have already mentioned you. Yeah. He just mailed me one email only first time when I hired for email marketing. That email, I completely know that he's your student. Okay. Like the subject line made me to realize. Then I asked him, like he said, okay, I'm DD intern. I said, okay, then come in. Because I was building my email. Yeah. So I was able to do that for email, everything. But for Amazon FBA ads, I was not able to do that. Because people don't come easily for internship. Though I did it, it is a failure.
And that is more for business owners who have a certain level of capital to start with and they directly want to start a business. And it wouldn't make sense for a guy who is just out of college that, hey, you become an Amazon seller by buying this 5,000 rupee course.
And another problem is that I cannot give assignments to them. For example, if you are going to say, I'm going to teach about WordPress, they can easily go buy a website very easily. But for Amazon going inside itself, they need GST. So how they can practice? Exactly. So here, that is a space I'm not able to fill it at all. But still, I'm running internship. And again, there is another difficulty. Like I've not streamlined the process. Yeah. I'm just, because everything is handled by my team. Like I give them resources. I have a content writer. So I'll be like, you need any interns? She'll be like, yes. Then let's hire some interns. Like it's not hiring. We just send them an email. They'll be like, getting back. And we give them real works. And the person has to appreciate the mentor, who has to appreciate them, like, well, you are doing good, this is your scoreboard, that and all, we are doing it. And at the end of 3 months, she'll be like, okay, this resource is really good, then I'll connect with them.
Okay. See, one thing is that we can help with our own interns, but I would give you another idea. Don't teach them on how to become an Amazon seller for a person who is just starting out, but you could create something like e-commerce internship. You do this internship, you will get job opportunities inside the e-commerce space.
Okay.
There might be some Amazon sellers who do your internship and then get upsold to your high ticket product. But a significant portion of your high ticket customers will come from a direct VSL by targeting them directly. Unke liye you can have a separate newsletter where you are talking about selling on Amazon. You can even have some team member reach out to existing Amazon sellers and ask them to subscribe to your newsletter to get tips on how to sell better on Amazon. So that content channel could be separate. And in that content channel, you might end up having people who are not capable of starting a store right now. They might want a job in this field or want to become a freelancer in this field. So you could call it e-commerce internship. And if you complete this internship, you will get a job in the e-commerce industry or become a freelancer, which is what you started with. Where you sold something, you got some experience and you helped people with certain things. So if they want to become their own independent freelancer, want to help other e-commerce stores, then they might be the right hires for you, for the agency as well as for the high ticket coaching business.
Got it. But how do you give cashbacks here? Like, generally I want to know, like, how is your cashback system working?
So it's a pretty simple system. Over a period of time, it has been streamlined. We did go through a lot of challenges. I won't talk about it because they are just so much. Initially, first batch mein, we used to send payments on Google Pay manually for like hundreds of students. Obviously, it was a huge pain point and all that was there. But so I will tell you the current system on the basic economics of how it works. So let's say I charge 10,000 plus GST and promise 10,000 cashback. Not 10,000 will go as cashback. No matter how much you motivate them, certain people will sign up for the course, then life gets in the way, they become busy. So the assignment will be like 90% submission rate for the first assignment, then 80%, 70%, 60%. So worst case, it will be not more than 70%. So if you are collecting 10,000 rupees and promising 10,000 cashback, you will only pay 7,000 cashback on average. So if you get 100 students, you get 10 lakh, pay 7 lakh in cashback, 3 lakh is still your margin, which I would allocate it to the account manager, or I mean the mentor for that particular batch, who is also the community manager. And the first batch of micro internship, which we are relaunching, we did it in the same economics, where because my email list say I got customers, there was no acquisition cost. So I said, you can go ahead and sign up for this, and whatever margin I have kind of goes to the mentor, and AlphaClub high ticket and the agency takes care of my salary, the office rent, tool cost, and all the fixed costs it takes care of. So I could see it as a proper separate bubble or a bucket in which I don't have certain expenses like my own expenses. And I'm ready to sit and just create content for it and eventually automate it. Right now I'm doing live classes to rebuild the entire program to get a better product market fit. So 10,000 plus GST I will charge. GST you have to pay. Usme whatever cashback you are giving is more like a refund. More like, it's not like a refund, it's more like a marketing expense. You are incentivizing the users to do it. I have spoken to a lot of financial consultants and CAs to see if the amount that I give back can be considered as a refund, because that's what we promise in the program. But it's always a gray area, because the taxman can always come and say that pay tax on the entire amount that is collected. So based on a lot of people's advice, we felt that the entire money that comes in should be treated as revenue. And you pay GST on it without hesitation, and you always charge X plus GST, where you are making it clear to your customers that X is what you get. GST is something that we have to file and pay back. If you have a GST number, we will give you GST input credit. If you don't have, it's a consumption tax you have to pay. We cannot bear it for you. So when you have 18% GST and making the entire thing inclusive of GST kind of does not make sense for me, because the customers don't know how much GST you are paying. Customers is thinking that you are charging 10,000 because 9999 inclusive of GST, you might say. But then you have to pay 1,500 GST almost on that entire sale. You get only 8,500. So you are paying taxes even before you are making any margins or profit. So make it plus GST. Nothing wrong in it. Customers will understand. And then now we have increased the price to 15,000 plus GST.
Okay.
Where we are only giving 10,000 cashback. And usme 7,000 will be the actual cashback. 3,000 will be, let's say, margin for paying the mentor. 5,000 I am thinking of allocating it to customer acquisition cost. Or I might give a 3,000 to 4,000 or even sometimes 5,000 affiliate commission. I will see how the unit economics works.
Okay.
So this will create a continuous pipeline of new customers for me. How do I actually process the cashback is that we give a form. We ask people to fill up the form with their assignment details. So every week there is a class, which is a recorded class that is delivered to them. But in this cohort, I am delivering it live. But let's assume in the future cohort, it will be a recorded course that will be given to them. And there will be a Q&A session by the mentor. And they will complete the assignment, submit it on a type form or a Google form, as simple as that. And we will go and look at all the details. So the mentor itself reviews the assignments, gives a rating for it, approves the assignments. Most of the assignments we approve as long as they have put the genuine effort.
Okay.
Sometimes people will submit blank documents or something like that. Sometimes people will submit a document and in the document they would have written, sorry sir, aise ho gaya, I had to attend the funeral, next week I will submit. But no, weekly assignment deadlines, you submit it, otherwise you will lose the cashback.
Okay, got it.
So you have to submit at least 70% of the assignments to get certified.
Oh, okay.
And when we get the name, email ID, phone number, then we can use something called Razorpay payout links, which comes with Razorpay current account.
X Razorpay.
Yeah, Razorpay X.
Yeah.
So in the Razorpay X, you can upload funds, which will be like your current account connected to ICICI Bank or RBL Bank. I think they will add more banks in the future. And once you issue a payout link, it's like issuing a demand draft. It's a preloaded instrument.
Yes.
That if you do payouts, which is also an option, you have to put the UPI ID or their bank details and then it will bounce back for some reason or the other. Sometimes bank account will be active, it will still bounce back. So then they will send a support email that we used to manage earlier. And then you have to see that, yes, this payment did not get processed, then get one more bank detail, send it to them, becomes a huge support issue. But here you take the CSV file from the assignment, just take out name, email ID, phone number, and they will give you a template on how to create the CSV file. So you put the cashback number, it could be 500 or 1000 rupees. You put it on an entire sheet, upload the CSV file to Razorpay X, hit issue, and the payout links will be sent to all the customers, all the students. And on the payout link, they have to enter their bank detail or their UPI ID and click withdraw. It will get withdrawn to their bank account. In case their UPI ID is not active, bank IFSC code is wrong, account number is wrong, it will say payment failed. Okay. And then they try with one more payment details and it comes. So when students get weekly cashback, it becomes very motivating for them to complete the entire thing.
Got it.
So we have achieved on average, if we are giving like 70% cashback on average, the average completion rate again will be around 70%. So some people around 10 to 20% will complete all the assignments, get all the cashback. Some people will sign up and not even get a single cashback.
Okay.
And some people would have got around 50-60% of cashback. Some people 30%. The average is around 70%. So this is how this system works. And one of my dreams is to build a learning management system which can handle all these cashbacks automatically, because I see it as a very powerful system to get accountability at scale. Because in high ticket, you can get the accountability by having an account manager, call them and follow up with them. But in a low ticket, you cannot afford to have an account manager and call all of them. But the fact that if they don't submit the assignment, they will lose the cashback acts as a form of accountability. It also forces them to go through the course which builds your personal brand. Because they have to do it. Like they have to do the assignment, they have to get the cashback. If you had charged 10,000 and gave the same content to them, they won't necessarily go ahead and consume all the content, because they will be like, so they say no, that you will put it on your digital shelf and it will collect digital dust.
Correct.
It will be in some folder somewhere or in some login and they won't bother only.
Correct.
So this is how I have fallen in love with this whole micro internship program, and the amount of transformation that it is creating for people. I feel like I'm literally making the market.
Yeah,
right?
That's how I felt right now. Maybe like we're not making revenue here, but the popularity that we're making, and maybe tomorrow they can be our customers.
And best of all, if it just helps you build a great team, then that is sorted. Because let's say Jayant as a co-founder is 1 out of 10,000 students. Because in batch 4, in every class he showed up. everywhere he was there. He was helping other people. And some people have this natural inclination to just work hard.
Correct.
Right? And Jayant is a geologist. And he is almost like about to become a PhD. Right? He has gone into hills, collected rock samples, came back, analyzed it in the lab. So you need intellect, and you also need that drive and that aggression that achieve karna hai. So I think over a period of time, intuitively, I have learned to spot such people that isme kuch fire hai.
Okay.
Hire kar lo and somehow find something that they can work on. They will bring profits to your company.
Great.
And that is how I have always hired. I am going against everyone's advice where everybody is like, have the job description very clear and then hire people. Know who you are hiring and what you are hiring for. Maybe it will work. It has to work that way when I am 30 plus employees.
Got it.
But until I am like 30 employees, which is like one level, right? Up to 10 employees is one level. You are making a lot of mistakes. It's just chaos. And then up to 30, and then up to 150, and then beyond 150, you get to a stage where you don't know people's names
Correct.
in the office.
That's true.
So even at 150, I think you might not, but at least at 30, you know everybody's names, what they are doing. They are closely working with you, getting inspired by you. And that team has to be like, the go-getter team, the initiative team, that they can go and take anything. They can become a salesperson, they can become a support person, they can become a mentor. And I feel the team is like that here. I brainstorm with them. And everybody is multi-skilled. Like Kamna Jain, the first hire that I got, she did everything. She did mentoring, she did sales calls, she did support. She created systems and processes for future mentors to follow. So you don't need to necessarily create systems and processes yourself. It can be other people who are also from this blank canvas painters, right? They don't work inside a structure. And they feel like they are so sharp that if they don't use their sharpness, they will cut themselves. So they have to constantly engage themselves. You don't need to keep telling them, hey, karo. They are like taking some initiative on their own, and you are like, oh, wow. So yeah, I think that comes from building a personal brand. All right. So now, Nivetha, I want to talk about, you are a mother of 2 children.
Yeah.
And recently you just had a kid, and your business is still running and making revenue consistently. So how were you able to get to the stage where things are in systems and processes? And what is your belief system around it, that you should not be a business operator but a business owner? And in the process of trying to step away from the business, what are the challenges you have faced?
After having kids only, I created systems. So maybe having the kid was a stress, I feel, maybe related to business. After marriage, I was working like mad. My husband used to say me like, why are you working? If he's going for night shift, no, I used to do night shift. I used to work like anything. And one time my in-law came and saw like, you are such a mad, you are hardworking like this, so how would you cook then? I'll be like, that will be on the process. So first thing that I fixed was like, since you asked a family question, like I outsourced work even in the home. Like I started not doing any work in the home to make sure that only I cook. Rest all the work, there should be a person to help me. First I made that clear. Then after that, after I had kid, I understood that life is not going to be easy. It was really hard for me. Like I was not able to, pull my phone. Nothing was allowed. So even right now I have the struggle. So then I thought, okay, I should hire team. That stress only made me to hire team. And, to be very frank, it has been 4 months that I did not have any meetings with my team. A common meeting did not happen. I just use only voice notes. That's my situation as of now. I don't find time. I found time for testimonial videos, but not this.
Okay.
So somewhere I started creating systems, and last time I had my maternity break, some 3 months before. So before going for the break, I brainstormed them. Listen, this is my expected delivery date. This is what I'm going to do here. I won't be available for a month. Even I may not on my phone. And this is what is your statement of work. So what and all you should close. And I started believing my team, no other go. Like you have to give the entire authority. Like as you said, no, my Razorpay X account access is one person. They used to process all the payments. So payroll access only is with me. So payments was automated. We fixed a schedule for all the freelancers, etc. And internal approving, link creation, everything is automated. So maybe this stress only made me to think outside and start creating everything. So after the break, I hardly work 1 or 2 hours just for the calls. So now people is asking me, have you started working back? I'm not able to answer it. I'm not sure whether I'm working or not working.
Okay.
So even yesterday after receiving the award.
I'm not working, but I'm making a lot of money.
Yeah, even after receiving the award yesterday, I went up and I was thinking, am I working or not working? Like majority, my dad also used to say, like, before you used to sit with a laptop, I have never seen you with the laptop itself. What's going on? Like, I have automated everything. So maybe I have to instruct people, that too on a very higher level. Like, this is the thing, just do it.
How big is the team now?
Around 10 people.
10 people. And do they work out of an office in an offline location, or everybody
No,
works
everybody works in remote.
Nice.
So again, I'm struggling there. But yes, as you said, no, there are few people who knows what to do.
Yeah.
They create systems.
Nice.
So that's how we are doing, and that's how I'm also able to manage a lot of lead generation. Like when you're talking about lead generation, like tripwire sequence, like I'm creating books. I've created around 5 books. But I shouldn't say this here, but I have never written any book.
Yeah.
Only voice note.
Ghostwriting is a very good option. Nowadays, I am doing voice typing on Google Docs, rewriting in ChatGPT, and putting it inside my book as a chapter.
So now what I do is like I have an internal resource. I give them as a voice.
Okay.
They have to make it in a book, submit for me for the approval. Inside design should be taken care by the designer. So they come out of the idea, I approve or reject.
Nice.
So thing is only
You have written 5 books so far.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I have written even on Tamil book. I have published it
Okay.
with the help of Selvendran, who's a famous person in Tamil. Even now when he's helping in Vijay TV with that Tamil page, there is one thing.
Okay.
So he helped me in that in entire writing. He broke this thing. I said, I don't know to write a book. He said, you send me the voice. We would do it. So I thought, wow, this is really good. Let me do it. So that's how, I started building team, and I started giving them authority, and I started giving them that freedom also. Okay, this is the plan. I want to publish, 15 days once one lead magnet. You guys come up with an idea. So they started coming with an idea. I was shocked to see that.
Okay.
So I understood, okay, it's not you should, I shouldn't think like only I should be in the game. Everyone is in the game, and everyone knows me, and everyone understands the pain also.
Yeah.
So that's how, things are going. And maybe the family stress created me like this.
In fact, I was reading this book called Systemology. It's a similar book to Michael Gerber's E-Myth Revisited, which is all about systems and processes. And in the book Systemology, he had written this exact same thing which you are telling, that he started building systems for his business when his wife got pregnant. They got pregnant. And they were like, now the kid is on the way. How am I going to spend like 10 hours a day in the office? And before the kid was born, he had like pretty much automated all the systems.
Correct.
So then he became like a business owner who is working on the business and not in the business.
Correct. Because being a woman is more stress for me.
Yes.
Like I was like, okay, I have to go to the hospital. I won't be available. Then I have to feed the baby. So every journey was hard for me. So that stress, pushed me too hard that almost I'm automating. And again, I'm thinking, what next test can I think?
Okay.
What more? Because kids are growing. You have to think that and build. I'm like still like I have to build an offline office, but it will take a lot of time for me since I'm in a different location. But something I feel like I have to still automate much. There is much more to automate. I'm just in the start point.
And
that's
all
how I
the
feel.
things that you automate become the asset, which becomes the equity that you own. Like you own an equity in the asset, and
Correct.
and when that asset becomes bigger, also throws out cash flow. Then you get wealthy that way, not by like working harder and harder
Correct.
over a period
That's
of
true.
time. Yes. So I think we have crossed already 1 hour. We thought this will be 45 minutes. One last question that I would like to ask you, and it's a selfish ask. So tell me about the experience of AlphaClub.
Okay.
And anybody else watching this podcast wanting to join AlphaClub may get convinced to join AlphaClub after your feedback.
Okay. So even yesterday in the Binge Awards, there was one person who came to me and asked, why did you join AlphaClub? I'm from AlphaClub. I forgot the name.
Okay.
Because he known me for a long time.
Pankaj?
I guess. I'm not sure who was it.
Okay.
I forgot.
Yeah, there were a few AlphaClub members there.
Yeah, because there were many coming and speaking to me. Like, you are already doing high ticket. Why did you join? Like, I simply joined to understand the flow. For example, I said, no, I booked a call with Gopal. Like, what is the sales funnel working? How is it working? And even with Avi area team, I booked one sales funnel to understand it. So just like that, I thought of booking a call with Jayant. And he was sharing me a few things. I want to scale my agency. I'm still in the process of scaling. Then I was convinced with whatever he was speaking. He said me, we'll go for a second call, share me the link. I was like, you can send me the link now itself. That was my, because I know you for a longer time. And I thought, okay, I will have maybe I thought, it is again selfish. Like I thought, okay, I can interact with Deepak directly. And he said me like, Deepak really liked your brand presence. My mind was like, did Deepak know me? Anyways, he's doing something, but I loved what are the words he said me. Then I came inside the AlphaClub and I said Jayant very clearly, Jayant, I'm going on a break. And I want things to get in progress properly. Then he said me, you don't need to interfere. So still now, I guess I have been in one call with you or 2 calls. With Jayant, only 1 call. My team is only handling all the calls. So the way that he helped my team know to understand the flow without me involving, again I liked it.
Fantastic.
So even now, I was thinking to saying to my team person, after December, I'm not sure whether Deepak will have this Alpha Club. Whatever it is, so we have to renew it.
Okay.
I'm already in the renewal mode. Now, without me, I do not have any outreach process for agency, only for coaching. So Jayant was sitting with my team completely, did entire email outreach process, and we started outreaching people. And we closed deals also. That time I was in maternity break. I didn't know the deal got closed also. I got a screenshot.
Okay.
Hey, what I thought, I'm going for a maternity break, businesses will go down, and that was a high ticket. I did not have that much high ticket in my agency. So things started working. I was like, okay. So you guys helped me even without me involving. That was one plus point I really like, because anyone can say, without you involving, we cannot do it. But Jayant always used to say me, don't worry, ask your salesperson to book a call with me. Okay, don't worry, a content writer, just book a call with me. So that's how I felt very close. And, now we have started LinkedIn outreach, email outreach. And after associating with you, I found one thing. Recently, I sat with few calls with manufacturers. I thought only very, aspiring entrepreneurs know me. There was manufacturers, they were shocked to see me on the call and say, Nivetha, we are a big fan of you.
Oh, wow.
and recently I had a call with one person who was doing 600 crores per year. So obviously I got the email and I was like, wow. He said me, I know you during COVID time, I attended your program.
Okay.
So that was my day. Like, he's a manufacturer, he's already growing crores of business. He knows me. Then I understood, okay, this outreach program added me into another thing. Like, I came to know people already know me, not just aspiring people or looking for job. So I was like, wow, this is really good. And I started interacting with them and I started understanding what are their needs. And it broke my myth also. Like, I always felt agency means I can do only 10K, 20K per month per client. Now here, now we are about to close a deal for 1 lakh per month.
Fantastic.
So that broke the myth, and it is not just for 1 year. They are asking me a 2-year plan now itself. They are like, we are not into negotiations. You can share us the quotation. We are ready to start. So I have added, as you said, since I have added this coaching agency together, people are recognizing me. And that thing I came to know after joining AlphaClub. I know people know me, but this much I didn't know. I was shocked.
That is the exact value proposition of AlphaClub, that we will help you become the digital Deepak of your industry.
Correct.
And me having done low ticket programs, then high ticket education programs, having done a lot of content marketing, free webinars and everything, the same thing that I felt, that agency people are not reaching out to me directly or coming into my funnel, but if I reach out to them, they have had 1 or 2 interaction with me somewhere or the other. They saw my blog post or watched my video, attended one of my webinars. And because of the traction that is coming from the student side and low ticket product side, there is certain level of brand awareness, and that much is enough to get the foot inside the door. We approached your story, and I wanted a meeting with Shraddha Sharma. I would not have got that meeting and a project which was worth like 60 lakhs for an entire year. I would not have got the project unless she said that, digital Deepak maine kahin suna hai. That was enough for me to at least get half an hour of her time, like a meeting.
Correct.
So some level of credibility. Okay, this guy is not like going to be my time waster, because they have limited time. They can't risk taking out an entire 1 hour or 2 hour with somebody which they are not completely sure about. But here, that brand awareness, like, I've heard about you, is more than enough. So weekly blog post, weekly YouTube video, weekly newsletter, a weekly live webinar and a book. This is more than enough, even if you don't have a low ticket product, right? So that is something that one needs to keep doing as a person who is building a personal brand and a positioning in a particular area as an expert. So I think India you already have a great brand, and I think you should double down on it, where you are putting a certain amount of time, energy and money into having like a content publication where it's not just the newbies or people who are looking for opportunities, aspiring people who are looking at you, but also sophisticated people who are in your funnel. And in that case, you might not want to send multiple emails in a week. It could be like a weekly newsletter, and every week they would know that, okay, something useful will be there inside this newsletter. And there you can put like a call booking link, and then the team takes the call. So a constant flow of leads and a pipeline would get built for you to tap into, right?
And to add on your point, so for the 2+ years, I have been doing PR activities. Like, I come under most of the Tamil channels, like it's called Nane Immigrant, ET Tamil, Aval Glitz. So now people started recognizing me because of that also. Like, I live in West Bengal. When I come to Chennai, somewhere or other, even I go outside,
Okay.
People know me. And courier guys, everyone knows me.
Oh, wow.
They will be like coming to my home and like, hey, you're Nivetha, right? I'm your student. I didn't know this is your home.
Oh,
Like, they'll
nice.
start. So that PR activity is what one coach should focus. That's what I feel.
Exactly.
Not just, offline publications, because many people only do posting on Hindustan Times. We have a lot of PR stuffs. But maybe going to a news channel was again, another milestone for me, which just happened as such. And now, people obviously message me. Even they come to the home. Even during the maternity break, I had 2 shoots. They came to the home.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I said, no, I have a kid. I cannot come to your office. They said, no issues. We'll come to the home.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they were doing every stuff, and people started recognizing me. So if I go out in Chennai, majorly some 1 or 2 will recognize me.
Nice.
And this helped me in building as a coach. That's very important as a coach, I feel.
Of course, coach and for agency as well.
Yeah,
if you want to
correct.
go to high ticket agency, big companies are not ready to take risk because for them time is very valuable. If a guy is saying that I will provide you XYZ and it is going to cost 50,000 a month, they don't mind paying 2 lakh a month to somebody else who is offering the same XYZ, except that person has a little bit higher reputation.
Correct.
Which means that the delivery will be proper and they would not have wasted the time because money is there with big corporations. So with AlphaClub, let's focus more on your agency and scaling your agency revenue.
Yeah.
At the same time, helping you with your personal branding, scaling and the high ticket optimization. I think there is a lot of opportunity there.
Correct.
To scale the revenue. So amazing, Nivetha, a very, very in-depth discussion. Let me tell you, within AlphaClub itself, you are, let's say, one of the most intelligent people inside AlphaClub, right?
Made my day. No, that's true, because I've been wanting to speak to you. I've never texted you. I don't know if you know or not. I have written a blog on your Zapier blog.
Okay.
Zapier, you did a course, right?
Yeah, Zapier.
So I approached you. Like, you put a post, like anyone can write a blog. I'll give the course for free. I just approached you, text you on Facebook.
Okay.
It was years before. Then after that, I didn't want to text you. I don't want to text you like just another person. But AlphaClub made me to speak. Yeah, like I used to text you on WhatsApp. You know me right now. So that's how I felt like AlphaClub is worth investing. This is enough for me.
Great, fantastic. ROI mil gaya. So I have a renewal in the pipeline.
Yeah, definitely. That's even you do or not, I'll be like a special person. Like, please do for me.
Amazing. So amazing conversation. Thanks a lot for coming to Bangalore, spending time with us and doing this entire conversation. Looking forward for more interactions and probably 6 months, 1 year down the line, we will do a follow-up podcast.
Sure.
And see where we have scaled in this time.
Yeah, and thanks Deepak for inviting me. And I don't know if you know or not, you are impacting a lot of lives.
Thank you.
And not just small people. Even once I grow, also I used to follow everything. Even now I used to follow your state. I'm crazy of it. So that's one of the things that you are inspiring. And when compared to the other digital marketers, I speak with many people. I feel you are simple. Maybe what I felt was like, there are people who put content, who put reels with a lot of editing. I have never seen you much editing.
Yeah.
When I said to Jayant, he said me like, he's a lazy fellow. But that's not the way. Like, you inspire people. Like, sometimes I feel like I have to do it with proper things. And like, Deepak itself is sending an email without much of stuffs. Just like that, you're sending an email. Blog post, immediately you're launching. Even your YouTube videos before and all, it should be just a raw video.
Yeah.
No logo intro also is there. So that simplicity inspired me a lot, and that will be inspiring for many people.
Maybe. So it might not be just the lack of graphics or just posting content. So me being a follower of Osho and also being a little bit inclined towards spirituality because of a lot of traumas that I have gone through life, I have discovered that a way to be a little bit happier in your general life with whatever opportunity you have is to constantly keep pruning the development of your ego.
Okay.
And ego in the sense, not like, the ego, like office politics ego, not that ego, but the way I define ego is your identity, right?
Okay.
So you go around with an identity. So my identity is Digital Deepak. This is how people see me in the business world. I also have identity with my parents that for them I am a son. For Sandhya I am a husband.
Correct.
And for students or for my team members I am a boss. So when you are trying to do work and when you put yourself into your work and do good work, then suddenly you start getting appreciation and then you end up building a business. So there is a certain level of respect. There are certain level of baggage that comes with carrying around that identity, where you are so many people to so many, you are so many things to
Correct,
so many people.
understood.
and there is a certain level of burden carrying it around, and then that's where you will be like, let's say, let me buy a car so that it will be a swag. I want people to perceive me in a certain way. And then, it's very, very tricky that you get into that without realizing it very well.
Makes sense.
And it keeps propping up, right? You compare to somebody else. Hey, he is a startup founder. Abhi 26 years mein Forbes 40 under 40 bol rahe hain ki $100 million se. And then you start thinking about yourself, and then you start comparing yourself, right? So I feel that the only real thing is you as a person.
Well said.
Every person around you can be imaginary. You don't know. Maybe I'm in a matrix. I'm just plugged in and everything is code just talking to me.
You're thinking similar to me. Like I used to imagine that. Okay, the population can be an imaginary. Why are you bothering?
Yeah.
Maybe if he's not born, you won't even bother. So why you have to bother?
Maybe you are just inside a software, or like Elon Musk says, it's just a simulation.
Great.
But at the same time, when you think about Maya, illusion, and the world being an illusion, so let's say the world is a dream. But the dream can be a dream, it might not be real, but the dreamer has to be real. Without the dreamer, there is no dream. So for me, the only real thing is me. And my own perception of my surroundings is the only real thing.
Correct.
Which is my footing, which is my grounding. And I have to operate from that. And when I think about me, like I might not want to sound like Nityananda right now. But when I think about this person, me, there is two me's. One is me, how I feel, how I perceive the life around me and everything, and my daily experiences. So when I am alone, when I am traveling, going for a solo ride, that's why I love solo travel. I love motorcycle riding a lot, because sitting and doing meditation is sort of difficult for me, right? But when you are motorcycling, maybe you are riding in a group or you are not, but still it's a very private thing. That you have the helmet, you have cut out the world, you have put your phone on flight mode. It's just the road, you and the bike, and it feels very therapeutic and present. And there you can feel that this is me. But there is another me, which is how people perceive me. And that is an identity. The identity definitely has its utilities, which is to do transactions, to do business, put myself out there as digital Deepak. And when you start thinking that is you, and then most of your mental schema, narrative inside your head, the things that you worry about, and then sometimes you feel pride, you feel proud, right? All that slowly will accumulate, and then suddenly you will fool yourself that is you. And all your life's energy will be trying to go and try to build that. So more power chahiye, more fame chahiye. I want more respect. Compared to that person, I need to be like better. And that is why yesterday I got this unicorn award. Like, TK award.
Yeah, see, I was thinking of it. I was at the back, right? So I was like, when Gopal was speaking, like, what would be Deepak be thinking? Because Gopal is after you. Like, you are the person who inspired him. He also said on the stage, you were not there at that time. Now, won't you be thinking, I should have done this? So, like, I was thinking, what would you be thinking by sitting there? I was seeing you, I was seeing him. I was not sure, but you well said it.
I was absolutely happy that Gopal did this event, because somebody else is taking an effort, treating me special as a VIP guest, and
I
giving
was
me
sad
award
because
and
you
everything.
missed it.
But then again I came back and got the award.
I know that.
But yeah, so that is what I think overall, and I feel that you can actually do better work when you set the ego aside. But better work will also easily lead to more ego. And that might prevent you from doing good work. Because once you start doing work thinking that what will other think of you, and once you start doing work for a certain goal state, that by doing this work, I will make this much money, then I will have this much status, then I will like have more and more and more, because you are trying to fill a void. And there is a certain level of mystery about life. Where did we come from? Where are we going?
Correct.
And we feel very non-grounded, and that is why we are trying to fill a void. But sometimes you have to turn back at that void and look at it on the face, and then that becomes your grounding. Because no matter how much you try to expand this, it will it'll all be taken away by death anyway, right? So what's the point? So that way, I feel like doing work for work's sake and enjoying doing the work. Whatever you touch turns into gold anyway, if you do that. So you don't do it for the result. So there is this study which talks about most of the Nobel Prize winners. I don't know exactly if it is Nobel Prize, but most of the people who have got recognition, which is like a very, very high level of recognition for scientific work, their scientific work has declined after the recognition.
Oh.
because the very thing that motivated them to do that work was the recognition. And then it goes out.
Okay.
People who don't work for recognition, even if they get recognized, they shrug it off. They actually kind of have a body language which is like, boss, I am like resisting something which is evil. Like you see A.R. Rahman receiving an award, he will be like immediately was like, everything for God.
Correct.
Praise the God. So he's like, I don't want to take the, entire recognition, because if that builds the ego and that makes you feel better and nourished, they're like, hey, look at me. I have achieved this. Look at you. You have not achieved this. Then a certain level of magic in your work will start going away. Because when you don't have that ego, you are in touch with a certain level of higher power, which gives you the creativity in your work. So there is also this Eat, Pray, Love. There is a book, and I saw that author speaking in a TEDx talk. And she was also saying that when I was writing, and sometimes when artists are painting, it feels like the work is being done through them. They are not doing the work. Because you are totally in the present moment while you are doing the work. And in that moment, the remembrance of who you are is set aside, because ego is a fiction.
Okay.
Because it's a fiction that is created by you and what others think of you. And you cannot always hold it and carry it wherever you go. So when you do sports activities like motorcycle riding or dangerous activities, or you are in an intense physical activity, you are like working out, you are sleeping, let's say dreamless sleep. You are in a semi state of sleep sometimes. You are just tired. You are sitting, staring at the ceiling. So these moments you have to drop the ego.
Correct.
Right? So in those moments you cannot always carry your identity. And then people wake up and then like check the mobile, and then slowly the identity builds again.
Correct.
Oh, these people are messaging me, and then immediately, have you been under anesthesia ever?
Yeah.
You have been, right?
Yes.
And you know that it's not like sleeping. They will say you will go to sleep, put you under anesthesia. And then when you are waking up, you are actually sometimes crying like a child. Maybe you did not remember crying, but you are like again getting back all that. And then slowly, okay, this is my name. Okay, this is the location. Okay, this happened like 1 or 2 hours back where I was put under anesthesia. And the entire thing is like accumulating again, which happens almost every night, even during sleep to some extent, not as much as anesthesia, that you are always like carrying this identity around. And sometimes you have to like drop it. And when you do these sports activities, when you have dreamless sleep, and during all these activities, you forget who you are. And then you get work done. And I feel like usme there is a sense of magic. For me, that is writing. So whenever I am writing an article, I feel like I am forgetting everything. It's just me, the document, the words that is flowing, and the narrative that is in my head. It occupies so much of my head space. And it's actually intellectually very demanding to write an article, because sitting and talking to a camera, anybody can do. It's like just like having conversations with anybody. Usme you will still be conscious of who you are, what you are talking, how people are perceiving you. But when you're writing, it's a completely different world. I think that comes with painting, that comes with sports activities, sculpting, or
that comes with managing kids also.
Managing kids, yes.
I lose my I'll be like a stupid person roaming here and there.
But again, I think kids and pets are naturally without ego, especially when they are young. Wait until they become teenagers.
Correct. That's true.
Because when they become teenagers, I think that identity starts building, because that very identity builds because of survival issue, right?
Correct.
For manipulating other people, like, when kids become 5 or 6 is when they first start lying to other people, right? And that comes from, hey, this is how this person is going to perceive it, so let me tell it this way.
Correct.
And then all the way up to like teenager and 20, like, if you look at, let's say, teenagers nowadays, they are like always trying to gain attention towards themselves, trying to do something cool, have a certain level of identity. They are so invested in it. So I think I don't want this to become a satsang, but
but anyways, I believe like I was able to get most out of you.
Yeah. So that way, when I keep listening to Osho and keep listening to like spiritual texts and all, I read Bhagavad Gita and everything, and pretty much in Christianity also, there is a lot of similar things, where apparently Jesus had said that only the people who are born again will be allowed into my kingdom of God, or into the kingdom of God. So born again basically means that letting go of the ego, and you become like children again. You become innocent, and you are not trying to always keep that in your head that, hey, this is how the world will perceive me, so this is what I should say, this is what I should not say. And then you see a certain level of rigidity, you can pick up on it like no time. So that is what I am trying to do. And it's always also hard to do, because if you go into the caves, it's easy to do.
Correct.
Nobody is there. If you are in the forest, if you are all alone, are you a good person or are you a bad person? Are you a father? Are you a brother? Are you a mother? There is no identity for you. So that is why Buddha went into the forest. I think some people should experience solo travel at least, if not sit in a cave or sit under a tree. But inside the marketplace, in the heart of Bangalore, startup hub, inside Koramangala, building this brand, getting this recognition and everything, and still shedding off, bro, let me focus back on my work. Nothing matters. I need to be in the present moment. The only place is here. The only time is now. So put you constantly back into it. I think connecting back to what you just said, that I seem to be humble. Maybe it is because of me constantly trying to be that. But nobody can try to be humble, right? Because the moment you try to be humble, you are trying to build an ego as a humble person, and that itself is
oh my
not
gosh.
humble, right? बहुत deep हो गया वो, but humble is just diluted ego. I am talking about no ego. And then people will be like, oh, he's so down to earth. I connect with him. They are gravitated towards you. And Osho says that never want that fame, never want that following, because if you actually let go of your ego and shed it off completely, even if you go and sit in the Himalayas, some people will come and seek you out. Right? There is a certain level of gravitational attraction towards this person. If I am just around this person, I am also able to kind of drop my ego and just be in the zone. Right? So that is infectious. So again, it should not be for gathering that fame, following, hey, I will become like a Swamiji and I will have a lot of following. So it is more for just being more happy in life and just living life fully. So yeah, I think बहुत long conversation हो गया. I don't know if people made it this far.
That's great.
All right. Anything else?
No, nothing. I think we took a lot of time.
Yes. But I think a lot of people would even enjoy a 1.5 hours, 2 hours podcast. I watched a podcast between Lex Friedman and Balaji Srinivasan, which went on for like 8 hours.
Oh.
That is pretty much, I think, the longest podcast I have ever seen. Joe Rogan's podcast with Elon Musk, and pretty much everyone is like 2 to 3 hours. Great. So it became a podcast like that. But I totally enjoyed the conversation and looking forward to hang out with you more inside AlphaClub. So thanks a lot.
Sure. Thanks, Deepak.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.